They just couldn't help themselves, ladies and gentlemen. No good anime slash manga shall go unadapted because we are getting a live action Naruto film with the cherry on top being done by the guy that did Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and look, I gotta be honest with you guys. I loved One Piece. I think we all love the live action One Piece. But that doesn't mean we should just immediately forget about Death Note or Dragon Ball Evolution or the live action Full Metal Alchemist or really any of these other adaptations that have been absolute garbage. But here we are, so we're going to talk about this. Before we do, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and with free speech at an all-time low in nerd culture, you need me and channels like mine to get things back to the way we were. So hit the subscribe button and let's discuss this. Naruto movie in the works with Destin Daniel Cretton writing and directing. Lionsgate is behind the adaptation of one of the biggest manga of all time. And that's when you know you got some problems. Like, hey, don't get me wrong, we've seen some Japanese studios do some pretty amazing things. Look at Godzilla -1, The Boy and the Heron. But this is Lionsgate. This is Western. This guy is still an American, filmmaker. Now, I did take the liberty of looking up his credentials because surely he's done more than just Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. And lo and behold, he's done a few other things. I'm Not a Hipster, Short Turn 12, The Glass Castle, The Shack. The only one I'm familiar with besides Shang-Chi is Just Mercy. And to be fair, it was actually a very competently written and directed film. So it's not like the dude doesn't know what he's doing behind the camera, but it also isn't exactly, based on an anime or something that requires a lot of action scenes. So I don't know. I'm still not convinced, but let's see what the news has to say. Was Masashi Kishimoto, the original creator, going to be involved? Well, let's find out. Naruto, one of the most popular manga of all time, is headed to the big screen. Destin Daniel Cretton, who co-wrote and directed the Marvel Studios movies Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, has been tapped to pen and helm a live-action adaptation for the title Lionsgate. He's gonna pen it, He's gonna write it. Well, that's already a mark against this because what do we know about Western writers in America, in Hollywood nowadays? They don't know how to do their jobs. Look at the constant flops at the box office. Look at how much people are complaining about Western-done studios and movies. I don't exactly see this as a positive so far, but I want to not just immediately assume everything's going to be bad based on the prior experience of being an anime fan who's seen live-action adaptations for well over 20 years now. There's a chance this could turn out good, but again, just because One Piece worked, that doesn't mean you should just go along thinking that everything's going to be hunky-dory. This is still Naruto we're talking about. Cretton will also produce alongside Jiyun Munford through his company Hisako. The duo join Avi Arad. Okay. Avi Arad's, that's the guy that produced all the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Actually, I think he's produced every Spider-Man film, but he's going to be the producer for the live-action Legend of Zelda movie, so you know what? There's some good news, possibly. Ari Arad and Emmy Yu of Arad Productions, who are behind the studio's upcoming video game adaptation, Borderlands. Oh, well, once again, we're back to a mark against it. And Jeremy Latchen of Dungeons & Dragons. Oh, but see, Dungeons & Dragons ended up being a lot better than any of us thought it would be, so this article is all over the place. In fact, that kind of means this movie is probably going to be all over the place. And Naruto is so long running. What does that even mean? How far into the story are they going to go in a single film? Yeah, you can maybe get up to like the Chunin exams, but that'd be a very weird place to end a movie. You could do the Zabuza stuff. That'd be a natural way to end the film, but also it's kind of anticlimactic when you get into like the major power scaling, what goes on later on in Naruto. I don't know, I'm a bit conflicted, but let's keep going. Created by Masashi Kishimoto, Naruto was a coming-of-age story focused on a young and enthusiastic ninja named Naruto Uzumaki who wants to grow up to be the leader of his ninja village, but also happens to have the spirit of a nine-tailed demon fox inside him. The story was serialized, and we all know this about Naruto. Look, here's the real question. This is a Western animation, or a Western adaptation of an anime, so are they going to be casting American actors? Are they going to keep it all Japanese? Naruto takes place in a fictional world, so they don't really need to go with Japanese actors. That being said, we can take a look at Kakashi Sensei and know he's not black. Are they gonna make Kakashi black? Are they gonna be doing a bunch of crazy race swaps and gender swaps? Is Sakura, instead of having the hots for Sasuke, gonna want to scissor with the girl Ino? Or are they gonna make Ino gay? What are they gonna do with this? Maybe they're gonna take characters like Tamari, some more of the side characters that didn't get a whole lot of expansion until way later on in the show, and they're gonna make them gay and race swap them. It's gonna happen. There's no way we're gonna get an actual authentic one-to-one translation. One Piece, it was actually very easy to do because Achiro Oda had actually stated what country all of these characters would be from if they were in the real world. And he stated this way back in like 2012. So when you were casting for One Piece, it was very easy. You already had the template. Hey, we know Luffy's supposed to be Brazilian. We know that Zoro is supposed to be Japanese. We know that Sanji's supposed to be French, so on and so forth. To my knowledge, Naruto has never done anything like that. And since this is, again, a Western production and they need those ESG dollars, they're gonna have to spice it up somehow. Let's be real, Naruto ain't exactly known for its great amount of diversity. So, and let's talk about the diversity of the power set, of course, then Naruto gets very diverse. In that time, it became one of the world's most popular intellectual properties, with over 250 million copies of the collected volume sold in more than 60 countries and territories. It also launched several animated series that ran for years on Cartoon Network, Disney XD, Adult Swim, and other networks, and it's been adapted into video game form and continues to be a merchandising juggernaut. Naruto has essentially been building hardcore fans around the world for 25 years. Cretin has Kishimoto's blessing. Well, does that mean Kishimoto's not going to be attached in the long run? He's not going to have direct oversight of the project like Keiichiro Oda did? Once again, that's not very good. I don't like the sound of that. We all saw that Kenichiro Watanabe gave the guys over at Netflix his blessing for Cowboy Bebop, and then he couldn't get past the first scene of the first episode. Needless to say, I need more than a creator just giving their blessing. I need them to be hands-on to make sure that these IPs that we grew up with and are in love with don't get bastardized and ultimately destroyed by the West. Something bestowed upon him after a visit to Tokyo. Now, this is actually a quote from Masashi Kishimoto, and I guess it kind of gives me hope, or maybe it's just corporate speak to get people jazzed up, because this is how you have to talk to people in the media. When I heard of Destin's attachment, it happened to be right after watching a blockbuster action film of his, probably talking about Shang-Chi, but he says, when I heard of his attachment, which means this was already going into production before Kishimoto even knew about it, or at least before he knew who was going to be attached to it. So, needless to say, it doesn't really matter if Kishimoto's attached or not. They're gonna do their own thing. He didn't even find out who the director was till there was already names attached to the project, so he didn't have a hand in picking the director. He probably won't have a hand in any of the casting, or the writing, or anything that is what makes the product actually Naruto, you know, the personal touch of the original writer. And I thought he would be the perfect director for Naruto, said Kishimoto in a statement. After enjoying his other films and understanding that his forte is in creating solid dramas about people, I became convinced that there is no other director for Naruto. In actually meeting Destin, I also found him to be an open-minded director who is willing to embrace my input. Okay, embrace his input. Now, is that just like, we'll give you a producer credit so you shut the hell up and let us do what we want, like what happened to Akira Toriyama on Dragon Ball Evolution? Or are you going to go the Ichiro Oda route and say, I need to sign off on everything? Because to be fair, if we're taking Kishimoto at his word, the guy's good at crafting dramas, and while Naruto is a shonen anime full of all sorts of action, explosions, ninja techniques, there is a lot of drama to it. It is a coming-of-age drama, and that's why I love Naruto. I actually love the character moments in Naruto far more than any of the action scenes, 9 times out of 10. Unless we're talking about Rock Lee versus Gaara. Second best anime fight of all time. Don't at me, it's just facts. The point is, look, I want Kishimoto to not be afraid to swing his dick around on this and say, my way or the highway, because you do not want your reputation sullied. I mean, Dragon Ball Evolution was so bad, it brought Akira Toriyama back to make more Dragon Ball so that wasn't the legacy that Dragon Ball had. We don't want to see something like that for Naruto. You already got enough problems with Boruto going on as it is. It felt strongly that we should be able to cooperate together in the production process. The adaptation has been in development with Lionsgate since late 2015. See, I was wondering if this is the same one, because this got announced ages ago, and I guess it's been in development hell. I thought maybe it got scrapped or canceled, but no, that's also not a good sign. It's almost a decade later, and they're just now getting a director. Does that mean it's been through how many directors, how many script rewrites, or did it just sit there on a shelf for 10 years because nobody wanted to touch it? Like, I don't know. I'm starting to get a little nervous as we get further and further into this, as if I wasn't nervous enough already. And Cretin's boarding marks a significant leap forward in getting it to the screen. Enthused Lionsgate Motion Picture Group Chair Adam Fogelson, I don't know why, that's just a fun name to me. This manga classic is beloved by millions of fans around the world, and Destin has delivered a vision for the movie that we believe will excite the massive fan base as well as those who are new to it. Avi and I have had the pleasure of working together before, and I know as we collaborate with Destin and the team on Naruto, we are in extraordinary hands. Cretin previously collaborated, I cannot get that word right tonight, with Lionsgate on The Glass Castle, the 2017 drama he helmed starring Brie Larson. Man, there is nothing about this article has any sense of consistency to it, which in a way, that could be a good thing, because Well, that's pretty reminiscent of the Naruto writing in and of itself, so at least you got that going for you. The studio's James Myers, who oversaw that project, will also oversee Naruto alongside exec John Humphrey. Cretton, who counts award winners Short Term 12 and Just Mercy among his credits, is currently developing a sequel to Shang-Chi. Yeah, because that's what everyone's asking for, because people loved the first one so much. Although, I also have heard rumors that Jackie Chan's going to be in it, which, if it weren't for the fact that I was boycotting Disney, would be enough to get me to see it. He last directed several episodes of American-Born Chinese, Disney Plus's adaptation of the graphic novel by Jin Luen Yang, and he also executive produced. He is rep by WME and Goodwin Niao. Alright, so there's our information. That's what we know about the live-action Naruto. That's what we know about the director. This is what we know about Kishimoto's involvement. I gotta say, I don't actually have a hard opinion. I know, you're just freaking you out. You're over here like, what? Leon without a hard opinion? Leon's the most opinionated person on the internet, and usually that is entirely accurate. But I'm so baffled by everything in this article. Some of it sounds good, some of it sounds atrocious, some of it seems so out of left field that I really don't even have a way to wrap my head around it and process it yet, that there's literally no way for me to pinpoint where this is going to go. Now, if I had to give an educated guess, I'm going to say, yeah, this is going to be trash. Like, look at all the discourse around the live-action Avatar The Last Airbender that's going on right now. That show was apparently so bad, even in the production room, that the original creators flat out walked out on it. Are we going to see anything like that from Kishimoto? Is Kishimoto going to speak his mind and let the public know if things aren't going his way during the production? Does Kishimoto even care, or is he just happy to take the money and run? I mean, the dude didn't even get to take his wife on his honeymoon because he was so busy with Naruto until like 12 years later when he wrapped it. So, needless to say, the guy's been working long and hard. I don't know. Maybe he might be checked out at this point. I want it to be good. I would love to see a golden age of live-action anime adaptations where we can use them to get non-anime fans into anime and show them and express to them. These are great stories that are for a wide range of audiences and ages that will teach you great moral lessons, and it's so much better than anything we've got going on in the West right now. But by the same token, I don't know if we'll ever get that, because nobody in Hollywood seems to give a damn about Eastern media, and they will just use it as an in name only, as a quick cash grab, like John Wong or whatever his name was did with Dragon Ball Evolution. I mean, yeah, Alita Battle Angel was like moderately accurate to the source material, and you could tell there was a lot of love and care put into that, but again, it bombed at the box office, so what are we expecting from this? Sure, Naruto is a much bigger name than Alita, but at the end of the day, are they going to sacrifice source material accuracy to make a more cohesive 2-hour product? No, I bet that's exactly what they're going to do, but those are just my opinions. I want to know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord, and please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not always about movies or anime, although that's what a lot of this channel is, but also video games, TV, music. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member. Join a member for $4.99 a month, get access to the Discord, choose the articles that I cover, and check out the merch store. Use discount code VITALIDOL to get a discount on a shirt, a mug. Show me, rep your merch, and tag me on Twitter. I'd love to see it. But until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.